The first understanding that we apply to each person is that each and every behaviour is happening for a reason. This reason becomes so much more important than what the actual behaviour looks like. The reason is always the same. That reason for any unwanted behaviour is always an attempt to regain lost control over something. Our question when working with a person is always about asking, what has that person perceived loss of control over? What is the event that has taken them to green, yellow, orange or red on the scale? That reason is the why, and that why is much more important than what the behaviour looks like. So anytime you're working with behaviour or looking at assessing behaviour, the first question you must look at asking is, what is the reason that person is using the level 2, level 3, level 4 or level 5 behaviour? What is the event that individual perceives they have lost control over? By answering that question, you're able to gain an understanding of why that behaviour is occurring. The second understanding is knowing that there are always warning behaviours first. I like to call these low-level behaviours. The low-level behaviours are the level 2, code green, level 3, code yellow, or level 4, code orange behaviours. At level 2, the behaviours start with just a slight, light, low-intensity behaviour change. At level 3, there is an increased intensity in behaviour change, and level 4, there's quite a high-intensity behaviour change. But what's important to understand about these behaviours is that they always occur before the code red meltdown. But more often than not, people fail to identify these low-level behaviours. But later when we talk about changing behaviour, it's important to understand that these behaviours are much more important than what the code red behaviour is. The reason being is that these low-intensity behaviours are simply warning behaviours. And they're warning behaviours to communicate to either yourself or to other people to tell you something's happening for me that I perceive loss of control over. I need help. But without that help, I will escalate higher to level 5. So understanding that the low-level behaviours are always communication tools that are basically saying something's going on that I perceive loss of control over. The third understanding that we have about behaviour is supporting you to understand that another person's behaviour is not about you. So the understanding being, don't take another person's behaviour personally, it is not about you. Every other person's behaviour is about where they're currently existing on their behavioural scale. As you know, at code green we've got slight behavioural change, up to code red there's a meltdown. But a lot of those times, those meltdowns or behavioural change are directed towards you or towards another person. Even though that behaviour is directed towards you, it is still not about you. It is about where that person is on that scale and about what's going on for them that they're perceiving loss of control over. If you're not to take that person's behaviour personally, you're guaranteed to stay closer to blue. The more you personalise another person's behaviour, the more you'll increase your escalation closer to red.